Thursdays at 7 p.m. on 90.9 FM WDCB and WDCB.org. Broadcasting from the campus of College of DuPage, this is Chicago's home for jazz. 90.9 FM WDCB, Glen Ellen, Chicago, and 90.7 FM WRTE, Chicago West Loop. Streaming online at WDCB.org.
Welcome to How the West Was Strung. I'm your host, James Allen Finley. Of course, you can call me Al. We're friends, right? And tonight, I've got some new releases for you. And a couple of them maybe not as new, but things I've wanted to feature for a while. And first up is a man who spent 30 years as a publicist for artists like Joe Ely, Jimmie Dale Gilmore, Butch Hancock, Martin Murphey. And I must admit, I always approach an album by someone who's sort of been in the business, but not necessarily the musician driving a career, with some trepidation, thinking, they've got some friends. And there's some wonderful people on Lance Cowan's first album. I mean, we're talking about a couple of Newgrass Revival veterans like Pat Flynn and Sam Bush. And you've also got Dan Dugmore, probably the number one steel guitarist in Nashville these days on the pedal steel. Jim Hoke on the accordion. Andrea Zohn on the fiddle. I mean, these are great musicians, but the man delivers the songs too. And as good as the first album is, which he released last year, his new album, his brand new album in 2025, is even better. And we're going to hear selections from both of them. And we're going to kick it off with that first album, the title track, So Far So Good, here on How the West Was Strung.
Another cup of coffee black, another egg in my pour bag. By now I'd have the knack of traveling alone, but it's just me in this old car, 1,000 miles of broken tar. I just saw a falling star, so far, so good, so far from home. I bet the folks all miss me so. Maybe not, well, who could know? Things like that are touch and go, but what's a man to do? I'm out here on this interstate. It's 3 a.m. and I'm wide awake. And as long as this old car don't break, so far, so good, so far from home. And the ones I love, and all I'm thinking of is turning this car around. Another cup of coffee black, another egg in my pour bag. You'd think by now I'd have the knack of traveling alone. When I'm old and when I'm tired, I'll sit home and I'll stoke the fire. Until then I'm up for hire. So far, so good, so far from home. So far, so good. Everybody tells me to just rest easy, 'cause they don't believe it should take much time. Everybody tells me I'll find another, but they don't know this heart of mine. Everybody tells me your leaving will help me. It's for the best, they say I'll find. But all that they see is their own situation, and they don't know this heart of mine. This heart of mine is forever. This heart of mine is for sure. Though you're gone, I can't forget ever, 'cause this heart of mine is still yours. Oh, everybody tells me they know what I'm feeling. They've all felt worse pain sometime in their lives. Funny, but that don't bring no healing, 'cause they don't know this heart of mine. This heart of mine is forever. This heart of mine is for sure. Though you're gone, I can't forget ever, 'cause this heart of mine is still yours. You pack your bags and all your belongings, and you walk right out of my life. Now I'm praying soon you'll start longing for the heart you left behind. This heart of mine is forever. This heart of mine is for sure. Though you're gone, I can't forget ever, 'cause this heart of mine is still yours. This heart of mine is still yours. There's a little house on the skirts of town. I remember it well, I can see it now. White frame on hallowed ground, where most of my soul was lost and found. Bought a beat-up Falcon when I turned 18, and I sped away for a childish dream. Never looked back, never turned around. I was headed out to get lost and found. I was headed out to get lost. Man, it's a twisted road that leads you to God knows where. Suddenly back where you come from, it's no longer there. New lines on a young man's face, where the miles of time are so clearly traced. Too soon the years unwound and left so much of me in the lost and found. I was yearning for a simpler truth, and I found my way back to the place of my youth. The white frame had fallen down, just one dream that was lost and found. Yeah, so many dreams get lost. Man, it's a twisted road that leads you to God knows where. Suddenly back where you come from, it's no longer while we were there.
So far, so good. This Heart of Mine, lost and found in that last one's called The Letter and featured Joe Ely right out front on the vocals. So kind of a gutsy move when you're making your debut album to recognize a song might be better served by someone else's voice. So appreciate that approach. The album called So Far So Good from 2024. And again, I was really impressed by this first album, but usually that second album is a lot harder. That sophomore slump is what often artists go through after they've made their first album. This is a first album from someone who's been around the business for 30 years. The second album is even better. I think if the first one has sort of a sweetness of Poco about it and sort of a country rock feel, the new one sounds like the Lost Eagles album, sort of a Lost Eagles album before Joe Walsh joined, so no sort of electric guitar like right out front, but wonderful singing, wonderful songs. Let's get right into that one. It's called Against the Grain, and this is the track that leads it. One More Chance here on How the West Was Strung.
Every time the lights go down, you think of her, though she may as well be a million miles away. You swear you feel her heart pound, she seems so close, and you count up all the reasons she shouldn't stay. But the past makes no excuses, and the ones you choose are useless, and you wonder what you do. One more chance, would you hold her tighter, make your love shine brighter, and find that light inside her, if she'd give you one more chance. Morning makes your bedroom glow as you're lying there. You remember when her heart was yours to hold. And if you could, you'd turn back time to better days and change whatever made her love grow cold. You'd fill all the missing pieces and give her everything she's needed. Change her heart and make her see one more chance. You would hold her tighter, make her love shine brighter, and find that light inside her, if she'd give you one more chance, if she'd give you one more chance, if she'd give you one more chance. The moon was like a spotlight. He felt winter closing in as he rode down from the Black Hills. Well, Belinda was coming home again. Robbed a bank in Rapid City. Spent 3 days running for his life. Thought he lost him in the Badlands long before coming home that night. And by the firelight he held her and whispered as she cried. He said, someday I'll find a way to stay right by your side, by your side. The moon was setting on the valley. A posse gathered on the ridge. They saw the smoke rise from the chimney of the house where Will Belinda hid. By the firelight walked out early morning. 7 gunmen shot him down. She ran out from the cab to Will Belinda laying on the ground. By the dawn's light, she held him, whispered as he cried. She said, someday you'll find a way to stay right by my side. Tape the windows up, throw a blanket by the door, but the cold wind still blows in. I turn the heater up, throw a log on the fire, but this drafty house still will not give in. I can't stand the winter, the cold stillness in the air that cuts right through you and lingers on so long every year. Just reminds me how it was warm when she was here. I turn the coffee on and I tell myself this house is warm. Can't convince my feet that's true. So I sweater up my heart by remembering the parts of a burning fire that I once knew. I can't stand the winter, the cold stillness in the air that cuts right through you and lingers on so long every year. Just reminds me how it was warm when she was here. I never noticed these cold nights. Her love kept me warm inside. God, I hate the winter, the cold stillness in the air that cuts right through you and lingers on for so long every year. Just reminds me how it was warm when she was here, when she was here, when she was here, she was here. Captain Philo Jones was the captain of his home, the finest vessel never set to sea. He built her from the ground, and every plank from stern to bow was dry docked in a landlocked field of wheat. He loved boats, but he feared the water, quoted Melville, hated Faulkner, longed to smell the salty ocean breeze. By the sun he knew the time, and by the moon he knew the tides, and by the stars he charted his course into his dreams. And he sailed against the grain, far beyond Kansas plain, floating on the amber waves. He sailed against the grain. Well, the captain told tall tales of mermaid songs and whales and creatures from the deep that he dreamed of. The only time he'd seen the sea, started trembling in his knees, and he wondered, was it fear or was it love? And he sailed against the grain, far beyond the Kansas plains, floating on the amber waves. He sailed against the grain. He sailed against the grain. She took a bus from her hometown, packed up her jeans and an old nightgown. She left a note on her door, said, I won't be back here anymore. I'm getting out, headed out, going south. Took 2 books to pass the time, gone with the wind and a book of rhymes. For 3 days and 2 long nights she slept and she read and she stared at the light. She said, this must be what it's all about. Going south, going south. And in her southbound state of mind, she is less confused, she is more defined. She's so amused, and all she's finding out about herself. Going south, going south. She settled into a tiny place, the Spanish moss and faded lace, warm hearts and gentle smiles. She says that she just might stay a while. Without a doubt, she'll always be going south, going south, going south. was born here in these foothills of this old Kentucky town, where the green trees touch the gray skies above our deep dark ground, where the cold beats like a heart in this land. It's been a grave to so many of my friends. Like my daddy, I followed my granddad to those mines. It was the summer of my 19th year when I saw my last day's light. It's been years since I've tasted my first earth. I've forgotten what those early years were for, and I sing this song to old King Cole, and the only way of living that I'd known. For the years that were stripped from my life, I'm praying for the strength to say goodbye to old King Cole. I've grown thick-skinned to all the young men, coughing up the dust from their lungs. It feels like hard times ain't that hard to find when you're selling out your life by the ton. Through the years I've weighed the losses and the gains. Sometimes it seems this whole world's just caving in. See, I owe this song to old King Cole, and the only way of living that I've known. For the years that were stripped from my life, I'm praying for the strength to say goodbye to old King Cole, to old King Cole.
One More Chance, Will Belinda, I Can't Stand the Winter, very true statement for me, Ragged Edge of Nothing, Against the Grain, Going South, and Old King Cole from Lance Cowan's new album, Against the Grain. And again, in a different era, 20 years ago or something, these could have been hit songs, but the radio has changed so much that they're just good songs now. And I enjoy this, and like I said, surprising as a sophomore effort, his second album, and even better than the first, Lance Cowan. And mentioning Old King Cole, up next, an album by Bucky Hawker. And, looking at Bucky's...